My break came through persistent hard work. I formerly was in a band. It took me about 6 years of us developing ourselves, developing our talent, developing our product, actively going out, gigging, and meeting people before we actually signed our recording deal to Warner Brothers. You know, so it was just about pushing, perfecting what we had, being as good as we could be. You know, we built our following. I mean, it was pre-internet, so we didn't have YouTube and all that stuff to kind of assist us. But it really hasn't changed that much. You know, you go out, you meet people, you gig, you just show yourself and make yourself available to opportunities.
Well, I studied at this university, so that was a great start. And then I just made tea, actually. I mean, I hung around a radio station and made lots of tea and just became very useful, whether it was taking the radio car out or helping with news, making calls. And then I got a break by someone asked me if I'd like to do an indie music show. And I didn't know much about indie music show, but I kind of said I'd do it. And the show became a hit, and my career carried on from there.
I didn't have a big break. I think mine was a series of small footprints in different directions, and at the start was quite confused and not quite sure what I wanted to do. But it's been a series of small steps up to where I am, and I'm still not there yet.
I mean, I was lucky in a way, in that when I got my degree at Leicester and then trained for a year to be a journalist at Preston, and taking that postgraduate course, as long as you didn't mess it up, pretty much guaranteed you had a good chance of getting into the industry. But I was still lucky.
I don't know if I had a big break. Well, I did have a big break, but to be honest, unfortunately, it was just a lot of hard slog. I wrote for the student newspaper, then I started writing for free magazines. This is pre-internet. So, you know, the only things were print media, so I was writing for the Big Issue, I was writing for local listings magazines, doing whatever I could to get like a portfolio of work together. And then I took it to London and started talking to magazines that would see me, like Dazed and Confused and DJ Magazine, pounding pavement basically with a portfolio. And you know, I did enough of that, and it's a numbers game really. Somebody turned around and said, yeah, all right, we'll give you a go. And that was DJ Magazine. So I suppose that was a break, but it didn't come out of nowhere. It came out of a lot of hard work and sort of really working it. And then the more I got involved, I think it's personal relationships. And if you get on with people, all of a sudden you find people doing you favours. And a couple of jobs got knocked onto me, one of which was editing Ministry of Sound's magazine in Ibiza for 2 years, which was great. Another one was writing a TV series for ITV, which is a club-based TV show. These are things just landed on my lap. So I think once the kind of door opened, all of a sudden a lot of light came in, to use a religious analogy.
My big break, I think, was basically just taking a little bit of time out and kind of focusing on that experience gathering that I mentioned. And by going over to Liverpool City Council's press office, just spending a few days working in there, that gave me the ability to confidently talk at my first interviews. And ultimately, I ended up having to go down to London to get the type of experience that I was looking for. But having had that preparation before I went down was immensely beneficial. So yeah, I would say just, again, coming back to that experience.